as of right now, since May 2018, things have been a bit different from normal. As in, when I say normal, I mean like the rest of the years that I've been doing YouTube. Because if you didn't know, I started this YouTube channel in like December 2014. So when December rolls around, I believe December 5th actually. So I believe when December 5th rolls around 2019, this year, I will have been on YouTube for 5 years, and it will be my 5th year anniversary, and I want to do something for it, but I'm not completely sure. But right now, I'm busy somewhat celebrating a different anniversary. On May 16th, last year, I became part of the Source Gaming staff. And if you don't know what Source Gaming is, as a staff, I hope I can actually sell what this is pretty well. Source Gaming is a YouTube channel and website based upon gaming journalism, where we review games. We review games, but most importantly, well, it's more than just reviewing games. We review games. We analyze them. We share our opinions. We have a podcast called Good Morning Source Gaming, which is mostly strongly hosted by Colin Drum, I think it is. Oh boy, I should know my co-workers' names. Colin. Let's just call him Colin. And he was also on an episode of Moonblast, which we still haven't got out yet onto the channel. But yeah, so we do a lot of. The big thing about Source Gaming is that it is a website and YouTube channel that is very focused within the Japanese language, in the sense that one of the first videos that I actually saw of Source Gaming was when they were translating Cloud's taunts, his lines in the game in Super Smash Bros. 4, and that's basically what they do. And one of the things that they get a lot of credit for is for translating Sakurai articles, more specifically Sakurai's columns in Famitsu magazines. So that's really like the biggest thing that we do, especially like especially during Smash season. When Super Smash Bros. Ultimate was coming out and it was like on the verge of coming out, there was so much. The Famitsu articles had like a lot of information packed within them from Sakurai. So our translation team, which consists of Brando, Master of Bear, and I believe Push Dustin, Master Bear, and I believe Brando, and I think that's it. They worked hard on getting out the translations on Twitter and on the website. Us figure out that, hey, originally Decidueye was considered, but Incineroar became the pick instead, and mostly due to the fact that around the time, I believe, they were aware that Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon was coming out, was being developed in some sense, which is kind of crazy to think that Ultra Sun and Moon was already on the cusp of coming out, or being worked on before Sun and Moon even came out. Crazy. So yeah, stuff like that. And I think with the fact that I've been working there for a year, I think I can talk about it, what it's been like, because one of the things that I've been trying to get my foot in the door with is gaming journalism, game reviews. Like I try to do them on the channel, but it's like, oh man, there's so much that goes into it. There's so much things I want to say about this game, or I want to say something about the game that I've been given to play in such a way that it is pretty hard to make a video about what I want to talk about. Articles is the second best thing, and through Source Gaming, I've been able to do not only just articles but videos as well. And first off, how did I get into Source Gaming is one thing I do want to touch upon in the first place. Originally, the real Hero Wins, or Hero Techni, I think his name is now. I had joined the Source Gaming server, and I was like, okay, well, I was talking to him. I'm like, hey, do you think you guys have any spaces for an artist on the team? And he was like, I'm not sure. You'd have to ask Push Dustin, who is one of the founders of Source Gaming. And I was like, okay, I'll ask him. And I never did, because I was just nervous. Selling myself with my art is just something that I haven't really been good with, because my art isn't really that good. It can be good sometimes when I use a lot of reference, but even then, like, the backgrounds and stuff aren't that good. And basically, that's kind of why you don't see. That's why I kind of got rid of the whole Black Hearted Ink moniker of my persona, and the fact that I don't do a lot of speed paints anymore. Which I do actually have some recorded, but it's just like it's so weird for me to publish them because I don't feel as good about my art now, which is why I've been studying a lot more. I've been using Miss Carrie J's tutorials. But anyways, I didn't want to contact Push Dustin about it right away. I was like, okay, I was really hesitant about it. But then the day right after, I checked out his Twitter, or I think it was, I checked out his Twitter or the Source Gaming Twitter, and they were looking for editors. And I was like, video editors specifically, I believe. And I was like, oh snap, this is like the perfect opportunity to get my foot into Source Gaming. And so what I did was that I wrote up a letter, like a cover letter. I wrote up a specific letter for Push Dustin specifically, and I sent them my resume, and I sent him a playlist of what I think my personal best videos were, which was, I believe, the last video I released before that. I think the last video I released before that, before I did any other video after that playlist, was not the Sonic Forces review. I think it was the Super Mario Odyssey parody review. I think it was either that or the Pokemon Ultra Necrozma Theory, the second one. So yeah, so basically, so we first started off with getting me, just into the team. He was like, one of the things that he asked me was, what are your plans to do with your own channel, even after you're working for Source Game? And I was like, I plan to continue, focusing on art, focusing on, reviews. I haven't really done that, sadly, because when I want to do something, I want to do it correctly, and when I'm not doing it correctly, I want to sit on it until I feel like, okay, I can come back to this and do it correctly. Which is why the state of my channel is so weird. It's like you see so many different things that it doesn't seem like I have a concrete thing that I want to do, and that's just because I love doing a lot of things. So then the first thing for my initiation, basically, the first thing I did for Source Gaming was actually a Nintendo Labo impression, where and at Nintendo NY they had a Nintendo Labo event where you could try it out, and I went on April 20th, I believe, or no, April 19th, I think, because it was like the day before it came out. And so originally I signed up in like April. I applied to work for Source Gaming in April, and then I made that video for them. That was also the day I met Etika. Strangely enough, that the day that I went for the Labo thing, and I told him, and I even told Etika, like, hey, I'm here for Source Gaming. I'm trying to get in, and I'm trying to do a video for them. Record the Labo, like have some fun with it. It was not Blockhead Gaming, 8-bit Gaming, I think it's called. Man, I can't remember that name. But yeah, another team of YouTubers was there, and also Mr. Vaca or Professor Vaca. He was also there, which I did an interview with him, and I still haven't released that. I'm an idiot. I do a lot of things and don't follow up on them. I really need to get on top of that. But basically, I started with the Nintendo Labo thing, and the next thing I did after that was I did a review for Pirates All Aboard, and when that game was absolutely terrible, in the sense that if you don't have anybody to play with, there's literally nothing for you to really do, and even if you do have someone to play with, the game just isn't that fun. It's kind of boring. So yeah, that was a pretty bad game. I got my first review was with a bad game, and I didn't really want to be too harsh on it because I felt like as if it clearly is a low budget title, but a bad game's a bad game. But I also didn't want to give the impression that I'm that kind of angry gamer guy, because I'm not. It's just that I have very strong opinions about things I'm passionate about, and I won't sugarcoat it if I feel like it needs to be said. So yeah, that game was bad. And then the next game I got to review for Initiation, the last game I got to review for Initiation was Jotun Valhalla Edition. And that game, I think I gave it like a 3 out of 5 or 3.5 out of 5. It was a really fun game. I was really worried about not being able to finish the video, and that would also look badly on me because, you know, I have to record the footage. But the thing is that if I'm playing on Switch, I can also take it on the go and play it. But the thing is that if I'm playing it on the go, then I also am not recording footage, because with the Switch recording feature, you're only recording 30 seconds. You know, like that's not really enough time. Even if I have like 100, I can take like 100 videos on it. That's not really enough time to, you know, get enough footage to actually put in a review, sadly. You know, wish that feature was better, but what you gonna do? So yeah, that was, and one of the things was like, hey, the video is due on this day, and I was like, okay, so I'll send you guys a video on that day, cause I'm normally of the mindset of, you know, in school, like, hey, this assignment is due this day, you turn it on this day. They're like, no, the video comes out on that day. You have to have it ready. You have to have it finished before that day. I was like, oh, whoops, my bad. I was still in the mindset of school when I hear it's due on a certain day. So yeah, that was a big mess up on my part. But, you know, after the Jotun review, I think it was like a week after, I got on the team. And I became part of Source Gaming. And ever since then, it's been really fun, honestly. I have coworkers. Man, let me, if I can't even remember all their names, let's see. I'm gonna have to go in crazy order. Okay, so we have, and I'm gonna go based on the time that I was working, since I started working there. We had Liquid, Soma, Push Dustin, Nerbion, Voyage, Brando, Master of Bear, Hero. Oh man, I should really be writing this down because I'm not gonna remember. I'm gonna remember if I repeated something. Hold on. Okay, let me write this down. So we have, we have Liquid, Soma, Push, Nerbion, Nantengex, Triss. Colin wasn't working at the time, but he was in the chat, in the staff chat as a friend of Source Gaming. He was like the only one there, crazy enough. And then he eventually became part of the team, and now he's an admin. It's crazy. Liquid, Soma, Push, Nerbion, Triss, Colin, Voyager, Cartboy, Matt. Who else? We got Lulu, Ashley. She's not part of the team anymore, sadly. Who else? Oh, Master of Bear. Forgot to write that again. Master of Bear, Brando, a Shadow Link. Who else am I missing? Am I missing anyone? Oh, I am missing a few. The Mango Viking, Wolfman. Who else? Hero. Wolfman, Hero. Anybody else? Am I missing anyone else? I feel like I said anyone. I said a Shadow Link too. Am I missing anyone else? I said Lulu. There's one person on the team who is like completely not there. Like I'm not even sure if he actually is a part of the team anymore, but he's like, we brought him on the team and he just doesn't talk. So I don't even know if he's actually part of the team anymore. Because like when you're not working for 3 months or something, you get kicked off because, you know, you're not being productive. I think I missed somebody, and I know that once I release this video, the person that I missed is gonna be pretty sad that I missed them. But one of the things that I really I'll talk about what I don't like about Source Gaming later. But one of the things I really love about Source Gaming is the fact that I guess the biggest thing that I love about working with Source Gaming is that I'm working with a whole bunch of different people. So it's so much easier to collab with somebody or get feedback from someone, especially people that are actually willing to, like, you know, edit your articles or stuff like that. Or like, especially the graphics team. The graphics team is absolutely amazing. What type of information is like Voyager, Lulu, Nerbion, and a Shadow Link, even though he's not part of the graphics team. Oh my gosh, a Shadow Link does it, like, him and a friend of his does their own artwork for his thumbnails when they come out. So it's like, that's crazy. Lulu's thumbnail techniques and article header techniques is absolutely amazing as well. Voyager's is as well. He also helps me personally with, like, you know, if I forgot to let the graphics team know that, hey, I have a video coming out and I want to make it myself, or like if something just happens off the cusp, like it wasn't planned at all. It's like, hey, Voyager, Can I get some feedback on this? I don't know what I'm doing in terms of the Source Gaming standards. When I'm on my channel, when I'm on my own channel, I have my own thing that I can do whatever I want. But now I'm trying to push out quality for a whole bunch of, for like 30,000 subscribers now, and it's crazy. So yeah, I love working with a whole bunch of people, and especially like when we do discussions. The podcast itself is very fun. I love talking with these guys. It's absolutely amazing. The second thing I love about it is, I would say, the Discord community, because I like to talk a lot, and you wouldn't think that about me because I keep myself in my room and I just like to work. I like to just shut up and work. I don't want to do anything else other than work. That's really what my, and even though you probably wouldn't think that because of the fact that I don't release a lot of actual like main videos, but I love doing so many things. So it's like I'm working on art, I'm working on my school, of course, because I'm a college student. I'm about to be in my 3rd year now, and then YouTube as well. And then in the summer I'm gonna be working. It's like there's so many things I have going on, and it's not like I can just stick to one thing. And I would never stick to YouTube as a job, even though Source Gaming is my job. Source Gaming definitely is my job, and I look to it as a job, even if we didn't get paid at first, because the thing about Source Gaming is that it's spearheaded by people that are in different countries. So it wasn't like they didn't pay us because they didn't want to pay us. It was a fact of legally, in terms of tax or something like that, it would be really hard to decide, okay, based off what country are we doing this on? Because now we're working based upon multiple countries and multiple different rules and laws and stuff like that. So yeah, there's that issue. But I love work. If I really cared about getting paid for getting paid for it, if I really cared about getting paid for the work I was doing, I would have left the team and just kept all the video ideas I wanted to do on my own channel. But I not only does Source Gaming give me that wider audience of people who can see my content, the content that I want to create, it's the fact of I love working in an environment where I have to do something. Because one of the things that with my own channel is that I can do this, it's all up to me to do it. But when it's with Source Gaming, I'm working on other people's time, I'm working on other people's schedules, I'm working for a large fan base of people, of dedicated fans to Source Gaming, to paying fans of Source Gaming. There's a Patreon too. I'm working for those people who are also paying us to be able to keep producing content. So and I love that, because now I feel like there's more of a reason to do something on time. There's more of a reason to work, and I love having that pressure on me to make me do something. If I don't have that pressure to do something on me, I will never do it right away. Postpone that restart. I don't want to update yet. So yeah, that's another thing I love about Source Gaming. I guess the last thing I'll talk about in terms of Source Gaming, like I love doing the work. I love working with these guys. The last thing I want to talk about Source Gaming, because although I enjoy paying for my own games, review codes, just looking at what the games that I've gotten. Wow. So if we're gonna start from the top, I'm opening my Switch right now. There were games I got to review from working at Source Gaming: Smash Bros. Ultimate, Our World Has Ended, Disgaea 1 Complete. I bought Bloodstained Curse of the Moon myself, but I love that game, honestly. The Liar Princess and the Blind Prince, The Killer Gear Effect Overdose, Labyrinth of Refrain, Coven of Dusk, Horizon Chase Turbo, Freedom Planet, Pirate Pop Plus. What else did I get to review? I got I think that might be it. No. Yeah, that's it. That might be it. So yeah, it's getting quite a few. Oh, and Assault Spy. Cannot forget that. Assault Spy and Wonder Wickets. Wonder Wickets is a beautiful game. If you haven't played it yet, please buy it and play it. The Discord is kind of dead, sadly, because for some reason. But yeah. Please buy that game. It's absolutely amazing. Yo, what's going on my phone? But yeah. So buy that game, please. Anyways, so yeah, I've gotten a lot of games from Source Gaming, and next coming up, I actually can't, well, P-Cube doesn't do embargoes, really, but I won't say what the game is. You guys probably have an idea of what the game is that I'm trying to get to review for the channel, because, bigger audience means people have a higher chance of seeing the game that I'm talking about. I really want them to do that. But right now, yeah. That's there's always games coming out, and one of the things that I made myself do as Source Gaming is that I'm not like head of the department of reviews and stuff, but one of the things that I did for the team was that I created originally what we did was what Nanten or Tris believe did was that we had everybody round up their contacts with companies, and we put it in a document to make sure, like, hey, instead of having to always ask or not be sure who has contact with who, we all can see the emails and see who has contact with what company. So like, I think Nanten has contact with Nintendo UK, but I have contact with Nintendo of America. So basically, I'm like the head of air quotes head. I'm the head of contacting Nintendo, which is a crazy thing to think about. But yeah, I basically keep in contact with Nintendo. I keep them informed of what it is that we're doing, and I keep in contact with our contact Prodromo, who is she's a very nice lady. Keep to let her know what we're working on, and what games we're looking to review. So it's that kind of stuff. And with Nintendo's year lineup this year, it's gonna be crazy. So yeah, that Super Mario Maker 2 Direct really got me excited for Mario Maker now. But yeah, so like, in terms of like connections, Source Gaming has done a lot for me, and already I was kind of, thanks to Discord in general, I was already getting a lot out of, thanks to Chris from Smashified, well, now Curiomatic. Chris, my dude, we hung out in Comic-Con, and I still haven't put all those pictures up. But like, I'm now friends with people from Curiomatic, which was before Smashified. Like, goddamn, let me not forget names. Sir Fluffy Fox, Artsiomni. We don't talk a lot, but we talked. We did a podcast together on Good Morning Source Gaming. So yeah. Who else? Connor Eats Pants. Thanks to the whole box theory for Smash Ultimate. Man, who else? Xavier is a cool dude, and through Xavier, I have now talked to Giancarlo Paramango, which is one of my favorite YouTubers, PokeTubers from when I was a kid, and I still would watch him now if he put out videos. But yeah, it's like, gosh, it's a small world, thanks to Discord. It really helps bring people together in a way, especially with Nintendo games in general. That also was part of it. So it's a big world up there, and other artists in general. But anyways, back to Source Gaming. So yeah, there's a lot of things I love about Source Gaming, and man, although I wouldn't do again, like I said, I wouldn't do YouTube as a job. I do it as a hobby. But for Source Gaming, I am willing to make YouTube a job in a strange way. But if we're gonna go to talk about the things that I don't like about working for Source Gaming, I guess the first thing would be to talk about is when Smash Ultimate was on the cusp of coming out. Man, first off, I loved making that character, but the situation that went down with the Daisy RTC was absolutely terrible, because Memory Man had gave footage before I had even joined the team or something like that to do a Daisy RTC, and then when we did that RTC, he said that we stole the content or something. We stole it without crediting him, even though we gave it to him. Even though he gave it to us. So it's like, well, why'd you give it to us, and why'd you go ahead and backstab us and say you never gave us that content? How else would we have gotten it? You gave it to us for us to use, and I'm pretty sure it was just because I gave Daisy a lone ring, because I really didn't think that she would get into Smash Brothers as a separate character, and well, she technically didn't, because she's an Echo. But you know, she did technically come in as a new fighter. She's a different fighter. She's not. She's pretty much the exact same as Daisy. As Peach. But you know, she's still on her own slot. We gotta count it. But yeah, the backlash that we got from like Box Theory and Grinch Theory. Oh my gosh, that time was terrible. Oh man, there was so many that I still don't believe how anybody was dumb enough to actually believe that, because there were so many things pointing it to be fake. Specifically the fact that, you know, we had the Box Theory, which was actually even more legit because, you know, it was on an Amazon listing, and people were like, why would Amazon have that stuff, you know, for stuff that's coming out for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate? Like, that makes no sense. And then everybody's freaking out before Joker even came out because of the Best Buy leak that happened with Joker's render. And it's like, well, as you can see, now retailers do have that connection with Nintendo, where they will have the marketing stuff and promotion images and stuff like that for this information that we wouldn't expect to see until, like, you know, when it's ready to be shown by Nintendo themselves. You know, so it's crazy to think about. So yeah, there was that. Another thing about that I don't like about Source Gaming would be that although we do like the podcast together. Oh, I forgot that Martin, Epic Martin. Oh god. Yeah, I can't forget him. Although I love talking in podcasts and discussions with Source Gaming, my coworkers, but it's like we barely talk to each other. And I wish we did, because there are so many things that we could talk to each other about, but we barely talk to each other outside of when we have to, when for the sake of, if it's for the sake of making videos, or if it's for the sake of, you know, the discussions or the podcast. It's like, I wish we talked more in terms of, like, you know, getting in a voice chat and just chilling with each other, you know, just hanging out. And we don't really do that, sadly. I really wish we did more often. Because crazy thing is that Spazzy, forgot Spazzy too. Me, Spazzy, and Colin met up to play Super Smash Bros. Ultimate in person for a stream, and that was great. And then, like, the month after that, I met Push, Cartboy, Matt, and Triss, and we all met up in New York, and we went to Nintendo NY, and we went to freaking oh man, it's like this Mexican restaurant. It's pretty good. But yeah, we met, and it's like of course we can't all always hang out, because, you know, we live in different parts of the world and we just live in different states. But it's like, oh my gosh, like, you know, I wish we talked more to each other. It just feels like we're office workers instead of, you know, actual friends sometimes. And I really wish, you know, we could break through that barrier. Sadly, I don't know if it's gonna happen, because, again, you know, also because people live in different parts of the world, different time zones, which means that, you know, they're also going to be on their own schedules, because the time that I would think that, or I'm not doing anything, they probably will be doing something, because it's a different time of day for them, you know. And also because, you know, I'm not the youngest person on the team, but I am only 20 years old. And those people also have like Nanton and Spazzy have other jobs. They have real world jobs. Push has a real world job outside of YouTube. But it's like, you know, these are other things that they have to do. I get that. And I guess the last thing I don't like about Source Gaming is just, you know, in part of communication, but it's like some of the times that we actually do talk to each other is about some controversial stuff. And because, you know, me being me, is like the way that I work is that I will say what I think, but I won't fully go into what I think, because I'm not a type of person that likes to just share my opinion and bombard you with what I think. I would like to bring it up in a small way and be like, okay, here's just what I think. And then if you want to talk about it, you can ask me or not. And then let's talk about it. And that's the way I work. And that's the way I like to work, because I'm not comfortable with, because I feel really rude if I say something and then, you know, I say something and then not nobody understands, but I say something and then I'm talking all of this stuff and it's like, well, who asked you, or it's like, and nobody on the team would actually, is rude. They wouldn't be like, yo, who asked you? Shut the fuck up. But it would be like, well, why are you saying that? Do you think different? Why do you think differently from it? Like, I guess one situation was that was with Catherine, what's it called? Full Body, where they were talking about how they dead named Eric Anderson in the game. Eric Anderson and Erica. And one of the endings is that, the Catherine goes back in time and changes the way things happen so that Vincent has a better life. And the way that some people read into it is that because it's a better life for everybody, and in a situation where it's a better life for everybody, Erica never transitioned, which means that she would be better off never having transition. But the thing is that if the goal is to make Vincent's life better, it's not about the other people's lives. In turn, Eric, there's like a relationship where because I think it's like some relationship thing where they, at that time where Erica would be still a guy, she ends up being in a gay relationship, which is, that's cool. But it's like, one of the things that people were saying was that because she went back in time, it kind of gives off that it people felt like it was giving off that notion that they're saying that if Erica never transitioned, her life would be better, when the fact was that because of time travel, Eric never transitioned to Erica because it hasn't happened yet. And that's kind of the things that I thought, but the way that I phrased it was like, I made it seem like I didn't care, or like what people were critiquing didn't matter, when it was just that I see what you're critiquing, but I don't agree with it because I'm reading into it a different way. And I don't like to, one of the things about it, I'm not saying that Source Gaming, just people on Source Gaming did this. I'm not saying that my coworkers did this. But one of the things that people kind of did was that they jumped to the idea that they kind of jumped into malintent on Alice. And it was kind of that, I can't understand why, even though I don't fully agree with what some of the things that people bring up as points. But like, what the Persona 3, the Persona 3 swimsuit scene, the Persona 4, basically like the whole thing with Yosuke and Kanji and stuff like that, and Persona 5 with Ryuji and with the two guys, whatever, with the two advertisers or whatever, stuff like that. Like they see that as that, I don't remember his name, but that one guy who does, who does the one guy who's like one of the directors, I don't remember what his name is, but he has led those projects, and I believe that he also led Catherine Full Body. So it's like, I can understand why people would think that, okay, well, it's just, Atlas shitting on LGBT people once again, but it's like, I don't like to jump to the idea of, they're doing something bad because they think that way. I see it as there's just a different, it's of course like, communication. They're putting that out with not having thought of, shitting on those type of people. And then people jump on to say, you're shitting on that type of people. But with Catherine Full Body, it's like they're doing it intentionally, saying that, hey, you're saying that if you never transitioned, your life would be better, when that kind of wasn't the case. It was just a case of, a plot point never happening because you go back in time and change the events. Not for the sake of making life better, but it's because it just possibly hasn't happened yet. And because it's an ending, we probably won't know if it ever will happen. They probably could have told us in a way that it will happen. But again, because it's an ending, you wouldn't know what the future of that ending is beyond what it will tell. Anyways, but yeah, that's mostly because, again, we got into a whole argument about it, because the way that I presented myself in some instances of it was that I made it sound like I didn't care at all, or that I didn't care about the way that Atlas was treating LGBT people, when I didn't think that they were doing, Atlas did anything wrong. But the way that I was portraying my opinion of it, or my opinion of a lot of things that we talk about, is not the best, because my way of talking is not the same as everybody else's. And the way that, and I guess, also, I guess you could also say that in terms of, since we're all just typing, of course, you know, the way that the emotion that I have towards things can be seen as a different way, because at the end, it all based upon the perspective of the person reading it. Because once I type it out, it's like, okay, well, now it's up for you to interpret how I'm actually saying it, because there's no emotion in text inherently. So it's like, you know, and I can understand that in certain ways, what I'm saying can look one way when I actually mean it in a different way. So yeah, stuff like that. Which means that I have to communicate better, and if I have to communicate better, if I'm working better on communicating, that also means that I have to work better on communicating my ideas in videos. So, you know, there's that. But yeah, that's honestly being honest, working at Source Gaming has been great for me in terms of, you know, getting a wider audience, getting a wider audience to what I think about my opinions and stuff like that, or what I want to work on with other people, through for a bigger audience, for people who care. And, you know, through Twitter, you know, like when they retweet stuff, you know, a lot of people like it. I feel like there is actually a sense of community that I'm actually finally a part of, that I never really was a part of before. So I'm really happy about that. I guess the last thing I would say, there was something I wanted to say, but I can't remember it. But yeah, I've just really enjoyed working for Source Gaming a lot. And I honestly, with E3 coming up, I wish I could go to E3. Don't have the money to do that, sadly. Even if I got like a media pass or something like that. I think you have to pay for a media pass. I don't know. But yeah, I just want to, like, you know, I just want to keep working for Source Gaming because it's fun. It's fun as fuck. I love working, you know, I love working. So the fact that I'm working also for Source Gaming, which is one of the things something I actually wanted to do, and that dream has come true. And I'm also communicating with Nintendo. It's like so much good has come out of it, you know. So I hope that Source Gaming keeps going on for a while, a long time. I don't think I'm ever gonna leave the team unless I have to, or, you know, until the team somehow dies, which I hope never happens. But, you know, we also all got our own lives, so, you know, it may happen one day. But I enjoy it. Gotta give big thanks to Push for helping me get into the team. Big thanks to Hero for even, you know, for encouraging me to be a part of it. But yeah, that's so definitely, you know, subscribe to Source Gaming if you haven't already. I have a playlist of all the reviews that I've done in general, and most of those feature videos from Source Gaming. So yeah, if you want to check out my content, the stuff that I've done for Source Gaming, you know, check out the website first of all, sourcegaming.info. I believe that's the website title. I should remember that. Sourcegaming.info, and then, you know, look up author Phantom Z2 because that's me. And then, you know, check out what I've done, because I didn't do a video review for Our World Has Ended, but I did do an article review for Our World Has Ended, and that is currently one of my favorite games of 2019 so far. And I got a lot of stuff that I want to do, like a Persona retrospective with a Shadow Link, and a Guilty Gear retrospective that I want to get a skilled Crom from the Discord server with on board with. And then, you know, Y2K came out, and I didn't get a review code for that, but I still am heavily interested in covering that game because I'm still so interested in it in terms of an artistic style, and I really want to see what the complaints is that people have. So we're always gonna have content coming out on Source Gaming. It might not be like, it's not, of course it's not on a daily basis because, you know, we have our own lives and stuff, but we gotta, you know, stuff is coming out. So definitely subscribe and stay tuned, and keep an eye out for what we got going on. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching, especially if you watched through all of my ramblings. But yeah.